million is robbery. Berta's getting locked up for that. I do want to ask you about City though, because we call for Mikel Arteta to reinvent himself. And obviously, you live or die by the sword. If he tries something new, he's a genius. If he tries something new and it doesn't work, there's questions in it. I think there is logic with keeping Eze left wing, keeping the team how it is really. I could also see a reality where, yeah, Ethan might start. Odegaard will probably be fit. You mentioned Mikel Merino. But I do think where you look at just the selection of Merino in midfield and potentially Martinelli on the left, because he's going to obviously help backwards. Do you think like that's the right approach for City? Do you think Mikel Arteta should probably do something a bit left field? Where are you at with that?
Let's be honest. Martinelli's not going to be a
It's
starter
horrible,
anymore.
man.
Martinelli, what he is somebody who comes in against tired legs, and you ask him to just run, run,
Just be what
and
he is.
make them have issues. I think Martinelli in a team where they play on the transition and they just feed him the ball and he doesn't have to think,
What did I say
he will,
last time to you?
he will kill it.
Exactly.
But but we don't
You're not
have a
getting that
team
here,
like
though.
that. And the main thing is Eze's first touch pass from Calafiori midweek. This weekend, you will never see Martinelli even consider just passing it first
It'd
time.
be a throw
And
in.
if he does, I hate to say it, guys, but the honest truth is he's gonna misplace the pass or he's gonna miss the ball completely.
Or he's going to only make that pass once out of 10 times. Eze's probably going to get that pass right 6 to 7, maybe 8 times. That, what did I say to you? It feels like we're both saying, what did we say the last time we was there? Yeah, but what did I say to you about Gyökeres? As much as if me and you slapped on YouTube right now and he scored volleys and great runs and fantastic goals and things, I was just happy to see a tapping. Like, that is what I want to see from Eze in terms of the competence. And obviously, Gyökeres just being in the box. Let's talk about Gyökeres, man, because I'm hearing a lot. Like you said, people said he wears jeans and all this BS. I will say this, cool. If he wears jeans, that's fair enough. But if he's performing more than your players, make sure that's not the case come the end of the season. You would think that, not that I'm saying other signings should be scapegoated, but you would think he's the big money signing at Arsenal, which he's not. You would think obviously he's the most expensive Premier League player. You would think he actually hasn't kicked a ball. I think he's adapted to the system. I personally think we can create some more chances, but I'm seeing, we played a new front three last game, Miguel. Like the front three was connecting. He was on the left, he's on the right. He obviously got the goal. He probably broke the post as well. Like, what do you make of Gyökeres' start? What do you make of his general play? What do you make of his goal scoring exploits as well?
I just think people are judging him too soon, and Arsenal get judged at a different level. Now, let me
100%.
just compare. Let me just compare this to Florian Wirtz. 4 games, hasn't really done much. Shown glimpses maybe once. Cost double, maybe 3 times what Gyökeres cost, and he's going into the Premier League champions. Nobody criticizes any player more than Arsenal players. Manchester United have Sesko who haven't done shit for 4 games. Not the same level of criticism as Gyökeres got in week 1.
I need respect for my striker. They were doing the double O agendas during preseason, Miguel. Respect needs to be given in the same way they were chatting shit.
And the worst part about it is he will score a goal, come out of the game with a goal, and they'll say, well, it's against Leeds, it's against Forest. Next week when we score against Man City, is it against Man City? They're not.
You need him to back
He
against them.
couldn't do it against Liverpool. Is that?
He's just a
I,
flat-track
I
bully.
and also I had an argument yesterday with my boys on my stream. Gyökeres, Ekitike. Ekitike is viewed as somebody who's had such a great start at Liverpool. Gyökeres has more
He's
goals in
cold.
the league.
Two different.
Gyökeres has 2 performances that I think are better than majority of Ekitike's performances, except for the one against the one against, what do you call it, Newcastle. Overall, I don't think there is any striker that can say they've been head and shoulders better than Victor Gyökeres besides Erling Haaland.
And this is a barely fit Gyökeres as well, who's still chasing his fitness and all
we're
of
still
those
clicking.
things.
We haven't clicked yet.
I think you're right, man. I think I make you right. I don't think Gyökeres is ever going to be the prettiest footballer, but I've seen enough in your link-up play. As long as you put the ball in the back of the net and you do your celebrations, who cares? I'm not going to lie, though,
I see
Miguel,
what
yeah?
you said
Go
on
on.
your show with Kenny Ken.
Not
He's
Kenny.
already adapting. You're right. He's already showing adaptation, drifting into wide channels, coming to the midfield to flick on chances, and people are saying he doesn't do much. I just feel like players get put into a box, and he's been put into a Holland box where he doesn't do much. he just scores goals. When in actual reality, he might not be Joao Pedro Jesus, but Haaland and Gyökeres are probably the two strikers who get called goal machines that don't do anything when they actually do a lot more than people think.
And this is what we needed, anyways. It's so ugly, it's beautiful, if I'm honest with you. Like you said there, like I'm not being like with respectfully to Kai Havertz, to Marino. You said Gabriel Jesus, probably the best example. You lot can do all the other facets of the football in the 90-minute game and in our system. Great. The hardest thing to do in football is put the ball in the back of the net. Now, Gyökeres might not be as sexy as them lot like that, but he can do it to a certain level and he can score goals. And for me, I still think naturally, I guess he's adapting, but I think it's more of a case of he's fitted in greatly. He played in a new front three with Eze and Madueke, and you're seeing relationships build. It's a case of, for me, I just need Arteta to create more situations where there's clear-cut chances, because even Calafiori is not even going to get enough praise for what led to Eze's getting his assist. But we saw that because teams sit off us. You sit off us, you give us space, you give any decent team, you're going to be in issues. You mentioned Liverpool and United. Of course, maybe he could have done a bit better, but we weren't great against United first game of the season. He wasn't as fit as he is now. Obviously, he's playing a three at the back. And again, we're not necessarily creating that many chances. I think that's one theme I've said in the last four games. So the sky's only the limit for Gyökeres. I do want to ask you this, Egal, because we're very quick to talk about rivals and the way we're spoken about. And, you had that Spurs idiot saying he plays like he wears his jeans, whoring himself out for the algorithm, trying to get 5 minutes of fame. That being said, I don't really care about them. I do think there is a small section of Arsenal fans, yeah. I don't know if they fancied Sesko. I don't know if Gyökeres has ever been their cup of tea. But I think they're kind of equally just quick to get at Gyökeres and always moving the goalposts. And I don't want to make this about Kai Havertz, if I'm completely honest, but everybody looks at Kai with rose tints. Kai Havertz in his first 4 games for Arsenal, the talking points were not this. Like, do you think there's some sections of Arsenal fans that Gyökeres, quote unquote, can't win over, or just struggling to just say, you know what, I was wrong, he's decent?
I think certain people will never admit they're wrong until we win the league. It doesn't matter what. It doesn't matter if you score 20 goals, 50 goals, bro. He could score every single goal. They will find a way to run an agenda unless you're winning the league. The only thing that will shut people up nowadays is if Arsenal will lift the trophy at the end of the season. It doesn't matter how well you perform as an individual, you will still get criticized if we do not deliver. And it's harsh, but the reality is people view him as the player that we bought to be the finishing piece to the puzzle, and that's the main reason why he gets stick. Because we can talk about Liverpool, we can talk about Man United, we can talk about all these guys, but Sesko wasn't bought to be Man United's finishing piece of the puzzle. Haaland was bought to be Manchester City's piece to win them the Champions League. If he didn't win them the Champions League, he would have got stick, even though they won all the trophies. So he just needs to keep doing his job. Next week, midweek, we play Atletico Bilbao. I expect a brace or a hat trick. This is just the kind of player he is. And then next game versus Man City, I expect something from him. Next week again in the Champions League again, expect another goal or assist. It's just Gyökeres, keep ticking away. Keep ticking away. Don't play him for his Port Vale. I think that's the game where we can play like Moreno up top or something. But just keep him ready to go for all these teams. Newcastle, another team away from home, we struggle to break down. Just have him ready for all these games where we need that extra little bit of attacking nouns. Because I do think eventually, come mid-October, December, if he keeps this up, people are just going to dead all the agendas and they're just going to say Arsenal done it again. They got another great signing, because we've seen it with other signings in the past. Every time we sign a player, Declan Rice, he's going to flop. £100 million player that nobody speaks about his price tag.
But he doesn't get 1 million goals or assists. The goalpost.
No, but nobody speaks about his price tag because he's one of the best set piece takers in the world. And in his position, let's be honest, you can play any system. You can play a 2, you can play a midfield 3, you can play a diamond midfield. With a Declan Rice, he gives you so much tactical flexibility that people don't realize he's literally one of the best midfielders in the world. You put Vitinha in his position, I don't know if he does the same thing. Every player is different. Every player is different. But what he is good at, I don't think many people in the world are good at. And the closest thing to him, I don't even want to make a comparison because then it's going to diminish my point. But you know what I mean.
Go on.
No, if I make a comparison, immediately it's just going to diminish my point. So I don't even want to do it.
But come on, Egal, man. You can't tease us, man.
No, but you know how people are just going to compare footballers to previous footballers, right?
Those who understand ball will know what you're talking about. Those who want to do agendas are gonna run it, man. It's never gonna change.
Yeah. So at this moment in time, I honestly I don't want to do it. I'm just gonna say I think for England we'll see how he performs because I feel like there's different parts to his game, different parts to his game.
And you can
You
see
can,
Tuchel kind
you
of doing that as well. Like he's making him do a little other bits and pieces similar to when
yeah,
Arteta was doing that. So I mean, if the country benefit, that's great. I want to ask you about depth though, yeah. Like, because obviously every team, all the traditional top six, or maybe every team in the Prem, everyone naturally wants to win and win every game and compete in all four competitions and stuff. I'm not saying or asking you like if we're gonna do the quadruple, but because of the depth, and we've got it's only 4 games in, but there's been a lot of injuries. But with the depth we've got and the strength in different options, and Madueke shouldering, he might not be Saka, but he's doing his thing. Mascara might not be Saliba, but he's doing his thing. Wanyeri's come off the bench a couple times for Odegaard, been injured, doing his thing. Eze's brought something. Even the players we don't rate. Like, do you genuinely feel like we've got the squad depth to get over the line in a trophy and actually compete in all four? Because now that this international break's done, the games are coming thick and fast. You mentioned Port Vale, that's the League Cup. Champions League's now in full swing. The Premier League, like what? If we include the Nottingham Forest game, what? That's like 3 games in a week, 3 games in 10 days.
bro. I'm not concerned about us playing too many games. I'm just focusing on us being able to keep the players that we have available fit. And that is where this rotation and the importance of trying to compete on all competitions comes into play. So yes, we should be able to now compete across more competitions. Yes, we should see us competing better across all competitions. But does that necessarily mean we guarantee will right away? I don't know. I think Arsenal have to take baby steps. We can't just go from saying, oh, we need to just win the league to now saying we need to win everything. Take it game by
Now we need to
game.
compete in everything for sure.
No,
And
take it
bring
game
one
by
of them home.
game, and the games. Just bring. If I'm not making sense, please give me a second because I'm just gonna pull up the fixtures just to give you an example of what I expect to happen. So, say for example, right now we play Atletico Bilbao. This is where I expect Mazu Skelly to start. Ben White, if fit, starts. Mascara and Gabriel. You look at the midfield. We play as strong as midfield we can, and we play as strong as attack as we can. And you rotate some of those guys out later in the game
Unpopular opinion, I'd play Marino against Bilbao in midfield.
yeah, once we've confirmed the win, right? Then Man City, you go full strength versus Man City. Port Vale, what you do first, Port Vale, you bring in Kepa, you bring in a lot of the second level
Give
guys,
Dalman a
but you,
start,
but you keep
potentially.
a spine of at least 3 to 4 starters in those
Nice to
games,
see Norgard as well.
right? Then Newcastle, full strength. Olympiacos, close to possible as full strength. Only place I would maybe rotate is the fullbacks or one or two midfielder. West Ham, full strength, and then Fulham, full strength. So you're really only rotating 3 to 4 games out of
What
7.
what game does what month? Sorry, you see, because you mentioned Fulham. What month does that take us into?
October. So just looking,
A lot of games.
I can pull up my screen if you want.
Go ahead, man. Makes it easier for people viewing.
Yeah, so visualizing Atletico Bilbao, you play pretty much the strongest team available due to the injuries. There's already naturally going to be rotation. Man City, you go as strong as possible. Port Vale, you play like a B team where you see only like 3 to 4 starters. Newcastle, play as strongest team possible. Olympiacos, you probably bring in Ben White and Mazu Skelly and like Ethan. If you can, if you want to, you can make 3 changes, I would say. And then West Ham, Fulham, you attack it and you play your strongest 11 again, and maybe one
This
or
is why
two
I'm happy
rotations.
we got some depth, man. Look at all these games. What's that? How many games is that? From
That's
City, from
7.
from Bilbao, sorry, to the end.
That's 7. So these
7
seven
games.
games,
Madness.
I'm seeing 1, 2, maybe three times where you're gonna rotate, and then 4 times where you play your strongest 11.
And unfortunately, you never know. Fatigue, injuries, the dynamics of the game. Like, we don't know what any game's gonna. Like you said, we can only look one game in front. You don't like the
Let me give you an
easiest game on
example.
paper might be the hardest one for us. You just
If I'm
never know with games.
Arteta and I want Saliba and Saka to play a couple of these games, I'm saying to myself, have him ready for Man City, have him ready for Newcastle. Olympiacos take